Week 5 of the NFL season kicks off this Thursday when the Bears visit the Commanders. Got to start the new NFL week off right, and we got to do it with the best bets for this matchup. So let's talk about them with Erich Richter, sports betting analyst for the New York Post, who joins me in another edition of Hittin the Books. Erich, what's going on?
I'm on a little bit of a run here. I'm pretty excited, Dexter. Let's keep it going here.
Yeah, let's keep it. You got to keep it going. When you're hot, you got to stay hot. You want to stay hot. You don't want the cold streak to come, or if it's a coldness that comes, you don't want it to be a streak at all. That's not what you want. All right, Erich. These are two very different teams who feel very differently after their Week 4 performances. Chicago, they blew a 28-7 lead over Denver, and they lost. While Washington, they lost in OT, but hung tough with the defending NFC champion Eagles. The Commanders, they're 5.5-point home favorites in this one. Is betting on Washington to cover the play here?
So statistically, like running a model on it, I have the spread at 5. That just what the model says. Now, you have to quantify the unquantifiable on this one, and that is the absolute mess that is the Chicago Bears. Peter King reported on Monday that if the Bears lose on Thursday, that they would fire their coach, Matt Eberflus, use the extra time to usher in a new era in the head coaching office. So, that's kind of unquantifiable. They're an absolute disaster right now. Justin Fields, I think, is a great player. Their whole team is just terrible. Their offensive line's bad. Their play calling's bad. Their scheme isn't very fun to back. I actually would lean Commanders based on all of those underlying issues that the team faces. I would say Washington minus 5.5 is my play. If it were to get to 6, I'd be no longer interested because 6 is a key number. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm Washington minus 5.5. If it gets to 6, I'm passing. There's no heavy lean there.
All right, going with the Commanders to cover the spread in this one thus far. All right, in Week 4, we saw both teams. They put points on the board. The over-under here is at 44.5 right now. Are you touching the over-under line, or is this a stay away for you?
I'm taking over, baby. Over 44.5 for sure. Bears defense is an absolute joke. As we saw against Denver, they let Jaleel McLaughlin rush for almost 8 yards a carry over the weekend. I love Brian Robinson. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Bears are 31st in rush DVOA. You could just run it all over them if you really want to. Sam Howell also is a good play there. So I think that the Commanders, and I actually like Sam Howell as a player. I think that he's actually pretty talented. So I'm going to go with the over 44.5. I think we get into a little bit of a shootout here. Maybe a couple turnovers for the Bears, give Commanders a short field. But yeah, I'm going to go 44.5. The model projects this one. This is a good value play for the weekend.
All right, some good value there at over 44.5. We'll see how that one plays out with both these teams and their ability to put up points. And last thing for me here, Erich, what are some props that you're eyeing for Week 5's Thursday Night Football matchup between the Bears and the Commanders? Give me some of your best props.
Yep. So I teased it already. Brian Robinson over 61.5 rushing yards. Last week he had 45 against the Eagles. And they have the second best run defense according to DVOA. And I actually project this one as a positive game script for Washington. I would expect Brian Robinson to definitely clear that total, especially against a poor run defense like the Bears. I already talked about Jaleel McLaughlin, who's never really even played before. Made him look like a joke. I'll go Darnell Mooney over 2.5 receptions as well. Obviously, you're looking at a probable negative game script. Darnell Mooney's also been running shorter routes. So I think that that's interesting because, the Commanders' pass rushes is elite. So I think, dump offs to Mooney and I think Brian Robinson there are your two best props for Thursday Night Football. And, let's see how this one plays out. It could be a mess. It could be a mess.
Look, you never know with the betting. You never know with the teams week to week in the NFL. Anything can happen. We saw that last week. I'm sure we'll see that again this week. That is Erich Richter, sports betting analyst for the New York Post, always giving you the best bets with me on Hittin the Books. Erich, appreciate the time. We'll see how this all plays out.
Thanks, Dex. Appreciate you, man.